And the China issue is not going away because China has infiltrated international organizations all over the world. Okay, they've now infiltrated 4 of the largest international organizations on earth. No other country has come to dominate even more than one of them. And so China's made a big effort this way. One of the organizations that China has taken over is the World Health Organization. They've taken over the World Health Organization by installing one of their puppets to run the place. And that puppet is now paying off because that puppet is accusing, not so implicitly, Donald Trump of causing more body bags in the coronavirus pandemic. And he's saying that if you at all raise any political questions about the World Health Organization, you too are going to be culpable for more death.
Please don't politicize this virus. It exploits the differences you have at the national level. If you want to be exploited, and if you want to have many more body bags, then you do it. If you don't want many more body bags, then you refrain from politicizing it. It's like playing with fire. So more than ever before, national unity is important if we care about our people, if we care about our citizens. Please, unity at national level. No using COVID for political punches. And then second, honest solidarity at global level. And honest leadership from the US and China. We shouldn't waste time pointing fingers.
You know, it's very convenient that the people responsible for this pandemic are the ones encouraging us not to point fingers. It's very convenient that China, which caused the pandemic entirely, if China had acted just 3 weeks earlier, studies show 95% of the spread would not have happened. If they'd acted even 1 week earlier, 66% of the spread would not have happened. China, solely responsible for this, they don't want us to point fingers. The World Health Organization, which is now a mouthpiece for China, they don't want us to point fingers. Come on, we need honest leadership from the US and China too, but really the US, they're being so dishonest. Most important thing to understand this statement from the World Health Organization director is that that punk is a propagandist for the Chinese Communist Party. Okay, his name is Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. I'm totally mispronouncing that, but whatever. He's the World Health Organization Director General. China worked tirelessly behind the scenes, to quote news reports at the time, to have that guy installed. That guy worked, before he went to the WHO, he worked in the government of the Marxist Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front. That regime was a notorious regime, notorious for torture, repression, and stealing elections. And while this man was the health minister over there, he was responsible for covering up 3 cholera outbreaks. This is a bad hombre. He's not an honest actor. He's not acting in good faith. He's a mouthpiece for Chinese communists. You know, the line we've heard the whole time from the left with this pandemic is, if you question them, if you question the experts, if you question the politicians, you are responsible for more people dying. For their politics. You know, if you question Donald Trump, that makes you a patriot. But if you question their guys, then you are responsible for more people dying. Obviously, the WHO is using this same line. The Chinese communists generally are very good at exploiting American political divisions. They've been good at that for a long time. So President Trump now responds to the World Health Organization because the prompting event for why they're even going after the U.S. right now is the U.S. is threatening to cut funding. So does Donald Trump back down? I don't think so.
The head of the World Health Organization today warned against politicizing.
I agree with that.
And he said that consequence of this politicization could actually create more body bags. It's a pretty vivid image. I mean, what do you believe the consequences of the U.S. pulling out its funding of the WHO?
Well, I think when you say more body bags, I think we would have done, and he would have been much better serving the people that he's supposed to serve if they gave a correct analysis. I mean, everything was, I said, China-centric. Everything was going to be fine, no human to human, keep the borders open. He wanted me to keep the borders open. I closed the borders despite him, and that was a hard decision to make at the time. We were all together. We made a decision against the World Health Organization. So when he says politicizing, he's politicizing. That shouldn't be. But look, we spend $450 billion, $452 billion, almost $500 billion last year, hundreds of billions in previous years. And they got to do better than that. They got to do better. When you talk about politics, I can't believe he's talking about politics when look at the relationship they have to China. So China spends $42 million, we spend $450 million, and everything seems to be China's way. That's not right. It's not fair to us, and honestly, it's not fair to the world.
Who's politicizing the virus? It's not us, okay? It's the World Health Organization, primarily, and all of their lackeys, and China. The World Health Organization didn't lift a finger to stop this pandemic until February, okay? We knew that this was in China now as early as October, but WHO didn't do that. Then when the WHO acted, do you know what they did? They finally sent a couple experts months and months later, and then their biggest campaign was to get people to stop calling it the Chinese coronavirus. Their biggest campaign was not a medical campaign to stop the pandemic, it was a PR campaign for China. And now, WHO says don't politicize the virus. They're accusing Trump of filling up body bags because he would have the audacity to question our vaunted Marxist leaders at the WHO and in China. I don't think so, okay? This is the perfect time to be criticizing the WHO, and it's a perfect time to defund them as well. Thank you for tuning into the Daily Wire, one of the fastest growing conservative media outlets in the country. If you enjoyed this video, and really, even if you didn't, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any of our content.